bounce to mainland Europe. We'll be hosted by Real Madrid, amongst other things in Madrid. Then we'll bounce straight out of Madrid into Paradise. We'll play a 3-day tournament in Paradise. I mean, literally, like, Google the islands, they're called the Azores. It's just unreal. I can't quite believe it all happened. And then we'll play that tournament, be hosted as their special guests for an extra day, and then back to the UK. Back to Australia. Most people scatter because that Sunday is the last Sunday before the Easter school holidays, so most people go off, see their family and stuff that they're connected to in Europe. Lots of people seem to want to fly earlier, so we don't do a mandatory you have to be on this aircraft on this day. The price point last year, over 15 days, so we did an extra day on ground. Anthony will attest to the fact that you don't need a 15th day on ground because Ethan didn't even want to play a game on the 15th day. He was done, cooked, finished, absolutely baked. So this time we'll do 13 days on ground. There'll be slightly more training sessions and slightly less marquee games because we needed to prepare more as we went on the fly. Last year the land package was, so that's everything from the moment you arrive at the first hotel until the moment you get on your Perth-bound aircraft on the way back. So I think there's 3 or 4 lunches that are not included because we give you free time. You get sick of us because we tell you where to be and when to be there. It's run like a pro team. Then we give you 3 or 4 afternoons off. 1 in the north of England, say Liverpool. 1 in the south of England, say London. 1 in Madrid, and then 1 in Paradise. To go and do your own thing and enjoy and not be told where to be and when to be there. So other than 4 lunches, the stadium tours at Anfield, the stadium tours in London at the Emirates or Stamford Bridge or Tottenham, whichever one we choose. Last year we went to a game. Again, Anthony will attest to the fact that last year's itinerary was too busy, right? It was too demanding, right? So we need more downtime this year, so we might not take a pro game in this year. We might just leave that one, park it. Gives us an extra day to rest and recuperate and just have a bit of downtime and chill. So last year it was 5-1 that covered everything from the moment it started at 3 o'clock until the moment it finished. And then your flights right now for an under 12 are about 1,700, something like that. There's loads of different airlines you can choose from. And the adults is about 2,050, maybe 2,1. So when you put those 2 things together, you make that a per person thing, that's what you start to get your multiples of. That's the reality. And there will be a form that goes out tonight that says we would accept the place based on those dates, based on those prices, and it will be deposited almost straight away so that we can start preparing for it. The biggest thing last year is that nobody in Perth, and me included, had travelled for 3 years. Now we know exactly what we're getting into, we know exactly how good they are, we know exactly what type of game we need to play in order to wreck their game and then play our own. So the bit couldn't be more between my teeth. I think we've got players that can do it, otherwise you wouldn't be stood here. But it's a blooming big challenge, one that's far too big for anyone else locally to have the minerals to take on, but we're very, 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 very happy to take on that challenge. Your kids will suffer at some point, you will too. There will be days it will hurt a lot. Deal with it. If your kids want to be good, they're going to learn to suffer. There will be days, I can tell you now, on day number 2 of the tour, we had kids jumping up and down because they thought the game was over and they thought they'd won the game because they play very long matches over there. So we had glory kids that were travelling with us already last year, under 12s, last season under 12s, jumping up and down because they thought they'd beat Everton 2-1. So there were moments that were absolutely epic. There were moments that were deeply, deeply, deeply emotionally challenging. More so for the adults than the kids. If I took the kids on their own, the kids would go back into rooms with kids, the game's gone in a minute. They go in the room with adults, the adults have got their thing going off in their own head, it makes the hangover last longer. The more you can give your kid the ability to do their own instant recovery, which they will do naturally because they're kids, the moment you finish football and you give them a meal, they're thinking about a meal. Then they're thinking about the swimming session tomorrow morning. We stay in England, we stay in hotels with swimming pools, so we can do recoveries. We may say in one in Madrid this time because I get to choose my own hotel.
Are the pools heated?
They're indoor.
Yeah, being in England.
Yeah, they're indoor, mate. We stay like it's a full gymnasium inside the setup. So, yeah, like they'll operate like bang. You've got to be here at this time. If they're late, they get stitch-ups from their teammates. If they're late twice, they get benched. If they don't work hard on the field, they come and sit next to me straight away. Like, yeah. Last year we played Everton on day 2, Arsenal on day 5, Crystal Palace on day 6, Aston Villa on day 8, Sporting Club Portugal on day 10, Real Madrid on day 11. We will not be going to the third country this year. It is too hard. It was too hard. We broke everybody last time. So we've got to take the edge off of it, and have more downtime, but make sure that we still get that benchmarking in of 2 countries, 2 Champions League level sets of opposition, and that's it. So there's a WhatsApp group that's already been created. A couple of people have got to be added into it this afternoon. Within that WhatsApp group, there'll be a hidden form that will now be made public. I'll show you where to go to find that. You can read through what last year's England looked like. There's not a detailed thing on the Spain part and the European part, because that was very different than last year than it is this year. But Google the Azores, and it's like going and playing football on some part Jurassic Park, part Great Barrier Reef setup. It's just ridiculous. And like I say, we're the guests of the the Portuguese tourism board, so we're getting some extra little hookups, an extra day thrown in for nothing. Yeah? Thought he said Ben. So that's it. I've got to go do some football coaching. If you are out, all you need to do is send me, based on those numbers on those dates, all you need to do is send me a thumbs down. No explanation required at all. There's no expectation, there's no pressure, but yeah, so just send me a thumbs down before tonight. I won't include you on the thing. If you are included on the thing, we want you to be an active yes, because we don't want to waste your time or ours. When you look around the group, for 2012s that are small and physically stepping down into 2013s, a couple of 2014s have been asked a year in advance. That's because they're doing things that no one else in the programme's doing at 2014 borns, and the bulk of everyone's 2013s. A couple of them have travelled already. Jakey and Bo, you came to Sydney last year, you saw how good the Australians are. Anthony's already been over there. If you want to ask Anthony the good, the bad, the indifferent, don't hold anything back, mate. I don't want people going over there like we did last year thinking that we're going to be king of Europe. I want them to know what the reality will be when we get there. You definitely know that now. So, all right, I'm going to go do some football coaching. Thanks for your time, guys.